Hello, my wonderful water signs. Welcome back. As you know, I'm Sachi the Scorpio. So I want to let you know, I already started this for the general water sign, so I didn't get too far, and I noticed that my phone died. So I'm definitely going to pull another spread for you, but I do want to explain what already popped up for you guys. As the collective, I'm going to do the collective and Cancer and Scorpio and Pisces, but happy April Fool's Day. So instead of playing a trick on you, we're taking a look at the tricks that you play on yourself and look into cycles that you can't seem to break and how best to break them, and also looking at the inner child. So what we had so far was what's the cycle? It's acting tough. And, you know, as water signs, we really are, you know, we act tough. Like, this is sitting outside of the water, you know, in the light and the shadow, while the water's over there. We'd like to act tough about our emotions, and part of it is, you know, consistently acting tough towards others. It's also adores round objects. It wanders the street at night on a daily basis to look for drop loose change. So I'm not sure if you're, like, you know, leaving at night or whatever, but don't act tough that way. You know, there's a reason why we are where we are. And how to break this cycle, this is steel energy. So it's like, don't act tough, get tough. This is also protection of water energy, because, you know, as water signs, we, you know, internalize so much of the emotional energy from the external world and the world around us. You know, like, Meowth has one eye open looking at the external world. So this is about protection of your own water. And I'm not sure, you know, how you channel water, or like what chakra you mostly channel your water through. Like, I do it in my heart chakra and my sacral chakra. So it's about protecting those areas. And that's with, you know, mindful meditation, mantras, protective spells, crystal work, you know, prayer, whatever you do, a veil even to protect where, you know, you are specifically internalizing the emotions of the world. And also, because I got this, that it was a little bit more Scorpio, of putting up your guard. Obviously, everyone has to do it, but I accidentally said Scorpio when this card came out, so that's why I'm ascribing it a little bit heavier towards Scorpio. But we have, like, the, you know, it talks about adoring round objects, and this is the leaf. So we have some, like, marijuana or tobacco, plant-based sort of stuff. And this is also the heart chakra in reverse, so something that has to do with the heart chakra. And then this is all about, like, eating and stuff, and using tackle. So there's something that needs to be tackled in regards to, it says, to entangle its opponents in battle, it extrudes white threads as sweet and sticky as cotton candy. So, oh yeah, so we, you know, we have that sticky, icky, that sweet leaf. But we also had adores round objects I took as, you know, the boobies, the booty, the balls, some sexual energy. And it does talk about, you know, white liquid squirting out. So, there could be a connection of, you know, being with someone. It talks about, you know, like, sexually being with someone, but not having your heart in it. For some of you, it'll be one way, you know, that you need to be having sexual experiences without your heart in it. And then some of you really need to step away from sexual situations where your heart chakra is not in it. Okay. And then the inner child, we had the fiery. So, you know, if your emotions get too stagnant, they become like ice, you know, they're solidified. So let that fire warm it up, and some big, like, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries energy. And then the song. So be careful of what you're putting in your ears and how you're externalizing that, because of, like, whatever you're putting in your ear, it's influencing your emotion. And that is another way to protect yourself, is by, you know, what you're letting in your ear, and using some music therapy as well. Okay. But anyway, we're going to redo it because, oops, because the camera died, and I want you guys to, like, get the full experience. So, water signs, please like, comment, subscribe. Of course, the more energy you send me, the more I can give back to you. But we're going to do a general energy, and then Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. They will be timestamped below. I suggest watching your sun, moon, and rising, and those will also, the other videos will have it, so you can quickly look at the timestamp in the description box. So watch your sun, moon, and rising. Okay, so for my wonderful water signs, what cycle needs to be broken? So we have mischievous using haunt in reverse and plusle using positive ion. So I think that, again, you know, that it's kind of similar to the acting tough. It's kind of similar to the acting tough energy, because this is like something that's haunting you that you can't let go of. Like, you can't get over the haunt, but you're so positive about it. And I think it is about acting tough on the outside. Let's see what this says. It likes playing mischievous tricks, such as screaming and wailing to startle people at night. So I don't know if you're going outside and playing tricks on people. Please don't do that. But, you know, it's talking about these mischievous tricks. So I have a feeling that, you know, screaming and wailing at night, I feel like someone might have hurt you and this is kind of haunting you. And maybe, excuse me, you're like wailing and screaming at night, you know, crying and stuff like that. And that's how you're emotionally regulating it. But you're pretending to be this plusle using positive ion. Which is, you know, like trying to be positive all the time, which you can't be positive all the time. That's impossible and insane to think that that's possible. It's not all love and light. You know, we focus on the love and light, but we have to acknowledge the shadow, you know, and it's important to acknowledge that, and not all emotions have to be positive. I always tell that to water signs, like, appreciate the aspect of emotional versatility. That is one of our greatest strengths as water signs. We understand the emotional realm because we can feel, and we can emotionally validate others in a way that other people can't. And it's not about staying positive all the time. So let's see. It says it cheers on friends with pom-poms made of sparks. It drains power from telephone poles. So again, like cheering on friends and stuff. Like if you don't have the emotional energy, if you don't have the positivity to cheer on your friends, like give some of that energy to yourself. You know, like you don't always have to be the positive friend cheering someone on. You're allowed to, you know, be the other way and have to drain the energy from the telephone pole. Do you know what I mean? So call your friend and vent and talk to a trusted person. You know, that's very important for water signs, is to talk about how they feel, and you don't have to pretend to be positive all the time. How do we break this? Trainer, switch, trade. Yeah, trade your feelings, like switch your feelings. Trainers are, you know, I always associate with somebody else. So this is really bringing someone in to trade your thoughts, trade your, you know, emotions, and talk to a friend. It's so clear. Talk to a friend. And also maybe sexually, because we did have sexual energy before, switch it up. Switch it up. Whether it's a partner, switching your partner if you're getting jiggy with it, or switching up the dynamics. All right, what does the inner child for water signs want to say? What does the inner child for the water signs want to say? The song, again, so that really needs to come out. Like, this is also, you know, the throat chakra of speaking up. You know, what's coming out of your throat, the song, like talk to somebody else, call them on the phone. It talks about telephone poles. It talks about cheering on friends. Call your friend. You don't have to be positive all the time. Express yourself. You know, if water signs hold emotions in too long, it makes them sick. So speak that up, and also, you know, be aware of what's in your ear. If you have, you know, people bringing you down, be careful of the music that you listen to, etc. So, okay, my dear water signs, thank you much for tuning in. Again, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to move on to Cancer. Oh, and the, oh, well, I'll just say it for each individual one. Okay. Oh, how funny. Okay. All right, Cancers, my dear Cancers. So, I have the Soulmate Twin Flame readings up for April. I also have the sex forecast for April up, and did a collective consciousness read for humanity for the pandemic. If you want to check that out, please check out my channel. So, all right, let's check out Cancer. What is the cycle that Cancer is playing themselves a fool? Okay. Woo! Okay, so that one of the struggle coming out. So we have Ponyta using returning flames, protection cube in reverse, and psych up. Wow. So you're kind of going into a dark place because of this quarantine. Like, this is returning flames, and I feel like there's been something that happened in your life. Like, as you can see, Ponyta is, you know, inside, like trapped inside, trapped in the barn, but knowing that it can go outside and being restricted. So I think that there is some sort of flame that has returned, where, you know, you feel like trapped inside, and you felt that way before. And this is a reoccurring cycle of feeling trapped inside. And protection cube, it's like you don't feel protected right now. And this is a reoccurring cycle in your life. Oh, Cancers, you guys are so sweet. I have a Cancer moon in Mars, as you may or may not know. So I really feel you there. It says, its leg grows strong while it chases after its parents. It runs in the field and mountains all day. Yeah, so, you know, I do think that this stems from childhood, because it talks about the parents. And then also, you know, it talks about running in the fields and the mountains all day. So I do think that this aspect of restriction, of being inside in quarantine or social distancing, or, you know, whatever's going on in your situation, is really, you know, a reoccurring, it's like triggering you in some way, and it's about not feeling protected. And then we have Psych Up. This is, you know, this is a pretty dark card. Like, this is about, you know, looking in the mirror and viewing that, viewing yourself in regards to that. I had a spread recently that I did where this represented a reflection of my friend and her mother. And the only reason why I mentioned that is because this does talk about parents. So I feel like this could be a reflection of like how your parents view you or how you view your children. But this is, you know, Psych Up. It's really influencing whatever this is that you feel trapped and that you're not protected. Again, like this is something that seems to be from childhood is what I'm really feeling. Some type of tower moment, but it's like getting you psyched up. You know what I mean? Like, it's in your third eye, and you're like going back, like, look, this is looking into a window. This is looking out of a window. It's like, no matter where you are, you don't feel protected. Ooh, that's really deep, you guys. I'm so sorry. Oh man, I really feel you, Cancer. I really feel you. Oh, I love you guys so much. I love you guys so much. So it's really influencing your, like, how your mind is. You know, this is psychic type, which is your third eye. So it's really influencing, you know, your mind state. So you need to make sure that you know, that you have this protection cube, that you protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. It says, rumors of its origin are linked to a UFO crash site in the desert 50 years ago. So if you're getting into some conspiracy theory stuff, be very careful. I always say, keep your mind open, you know, get the data, you know, research whatever you want. Of course. And especially this protection cube, we have some glyphic stuff, you know, very alien-like. So if you are, you know, getting too deep in the rabbit hole of, you know, what's happening in the world right now and trying to link it all together, stop that. You know, your brain alone is not meant to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Do not burden yourself with that task of humanity, Cancer. Don't do that. So, you know, anyone who has a Cancer sign, whether you're sun, moon, or rising. So be careful of how that is psychically influencing you. All right, what's the shadow here? Oh, that's weird. I didn't mean that. Whew, weird. How do we break this? How do we break this cycle? With Togepi using Sweet Kiss in reverse. So this isn't like someone kissing you isn't going to help this. This is also, you know, Togepi is the baby in reverse, the first egg Pokemon, the first baby Pokemon that we have in the Pokemon world, you know. So this is about not making a deal with Fae folk, not making some sort of commitment. You know, you can't live this out through another child. And it can't be lived out romantically. So this is something that you need to do for yourself. It can't, like, it has to be broken with you. You can't live it out in another way. Interesting. What does it say? A proverb claims that a proverb claims that happiness will come to anyone who can make a sleeping togepi stand up. So again, I think that this is like thinking like, oh, there's this magic thing that's going to fix me, you know, and bring me happiness or whatever. Not that you need fixing, but you know what I mean? Like, you know, an ancient proverb or a proverb claims that happiness will come to anyone who can, you know, wake the sleeping togepi. But it's like, you know, let's get some light in here is what I'm saying. Okay, so, you know, like no matter what, you're not going to find happiness in something external to yourself. Whether that's kissing somebody or having an egg, you know, or, you know, whatever it may be, making a deal with someone, a partnership, you know, a commitment, that's not going, the fairy energy, that's not going to help. So this is something that you need to break on your own, and that's inside of you. All right, so what does the inner child want to say? What does Cancer's inner child want to say? What does Cancer's inner child want to say? The arrow. So this could indicate a Sagittarius. This is also about being very direct. So, you know, I think that, yeah, it's being direct and very precise. So if you're going too much into a, you know, dark loophole, try to get yourself straight again and like, you know, cut it out and try to be very specific about your intentions and, you know, how you want to feel and things like that. Also, I was going to say, and I don't know why I said it, but returning flame can be a romantic sort of thing, a flame that returns. And for some of you, it could be a Sagittarius or someone who has a lot of Sagittarius in their chart. But it is about being direct and, like which direction. It's interesting. I'm going to ask for one more. What else does Cancer's inner child want to say? Whoa, this just went into the fire. So I do think that there's someone with some Sagittarius placements or fire placements in general that that needs to go to. And it's weird because when I was meditating on this of like, what does this mean? What does this mean? It was pointing to me. And that's what I felt. It's like, come to me. It's so weird. But it's like, come to me. And then the water, you know, as a Scorpio, this could, you know, focus on the emotional energy. We had that, you know, pop up in the general water, but focus on the water. And also I take this as, it's weird. It's, I don't know why that I feel like it's talking about me. And it might be my Cancer moon, to be honest, that's like talking to itself. But the watery flew into the fire. So, you know, this is about, you know, if water gets too, you know, stagnant, it becomes ice, you know, it becomes solid. So, I mean, in the metaphorical world, obviously stagnant water does not become ice, but it does bring earth to it, you know what I mean? Anyway, so like stability, like, fungus and stuff like that. But anyway, so focus on the water and going to the flame to make sure that, you know, you don't turn to ice in some way and that these emotions don't, you know, solidify negatively. You want these to stay fluid and to focus on your emotions. So that is extremely, extremely important, my dear Cancer. Okay, so thank you very much. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you again for another reading. Bye-bye. Hello, my sexy, seductive Scorpios. So I did the soulmate twin flame reading for April and also the sex forecast for April. That's what it says, SEX life. I did that because of the algorithm. So check that out. Also a collective consciousness spread for the pandemic if you need that right now. So let's see, Scorpio, what is the cycle that Scorpio is playing himself a fool? So we have double dragon energy, wow, and flash energy in reverse. This is some heavy shit. So it's about a soulmate twin flame. I usually associate this with a twin flame because of that. I will also say that earth signs in general got that as well. and flash energy in reverse. So this could be about something not happening, that whatever your soulmate twin flame situation is, you want this energy to happen in a flash. You know, you want this. Flash energy could also indicate maybe some like abandonment cycle that is in a soulmate twin flame relationship where they are gone in a flash, or maybe someone who identifies as the Flash or whatever in Marvel or DC, whatever it is. I'm so sorry if you're offended about that, because I don't know which one it is. But also this is, you know, darkness of the solar plexus chakra, the yellow. Typically this is electric type. This is a special type of electric. So electric is all about, you know, self-expression, self-discovery. You know, the solar plexus chakra ruled by Leo in the 5th house of that time in life where you start developing like a personality, like around ages like 5 to 8 or whatever it is. You know, that's signified by the solar plexus chakra of, you know, discovering who you are and speaking who you are and, you know, becoming you. And this is a little bit of that darker energy. So it could be maybe you want from a soulmate twin flame to express something that's not happening, but it's like you want something and you want it now. How does Scorpio break this? Delcatty using replace. Wow. So there is some, okay, first of all, it could be a cat, so that could getting a cat could help, but also replace is like you need to replace whatever the soulmate twin flame, whatever you're trying to get from this person, you need to replace who it is and give it to somebody else is what I'm getting. Like replace them. They'll come in due time if they're meant to, but you need to replace whoever this cycle is with. What does it say? It is highly popular among female trainers for its sublime fur. It does not keep a nest. Yeah, so you need to replace that with somebody else because like this is highly popular among the females. And, you know, it's known for its sublime fur and not to keep a nest. So it's not ready to nest. Whoever this is, they're not ready to nest. If they're meant to be yours and nest with you, when they're ready to nest, they will come nest with you. You know what I'm saying? So right now it looks like they're a little bit of a playboy or a playgirl. So just let them finish that cycle. Let them finish that cycle and replace it. Find somebody else because you deserve that. You deserve that. All right, so what is the... I need to hear this too. All right, so what does the inner child of Scorpio want to say? What does the inner child... Ooh. So we got 2. This one wanted to come out first. The voice. So something needs to be said, and the inner child needs to bring out its voice and speak. So I don't know if you've had a conversation with your inner child, but you know, that could be a really good meditation, is to talk to yourself and, you know, talk to your past self of like, hey, how are you doing? You know, are you okay? Especially as a Scorpio, because, you know, we go through a very interesting karmic cycle, and that is, you know, dying without dying many times in our life. We have that spiritual shamanic death where our spirit dies and we are reborn. And, you know, we live multiple lifetimes in one lifetime. It really is something spectacular. And, you know, as Scorpios, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I think it's very important to get in touch and talk to your inner child, because, you know, we have lost our inner child like no other sign, because we've died and come back as someone else. So I think it's time to look at that voice and turn inward and ask that child, because it's still there. You know what I'm saying? So it's time to talk to that little boy or that little girl. And the move, ooh, about some sort of move that's going to happen. So it could be about, you know, maybe, you know, the movement restriction that's going on right now with humanity. And maybe talk to your inner child about why this is not comfortable. And, you know, as a Scorpio, we are, you know, we don't like being told what to do. We don't like to be constrained. We're fine being inside, you know, and alone. But, you know, if you are alone, but we are not okay with being forced to do things and having our movement restricted. We do not like being controlled. So you know, part of that is asking the inner child about, like, how do you feel about, you know, being told what to do and not being able to go these places and having movement restricted and things like that. And I think it's very important to get in touch with the inner child about whatever this cycle is and how it's playing out into your soulmate twin flame relationship pattern, where you want something now and that you need to replace. So okay, Scorpio, please like, comment, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. The more energy that you send me, the more I can give back. And again, I have all the other spreads up for the month of April, and I hope to see you guys again for the next read. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello, my pensive Pisces. Let's see, for the fishies, what is the cycle that Pisces is playing himself a fool? So this is coming out stuck. Double colorless energy, interesting. So it's a twin flame soulmate situation that's in a stuck cycle. Scorpio just got this, as well as all earth signs got this. So there's a stuck energy for this. Double dragon I usually associate with twin flame more than soulmate, but it can be soulmate or twin flame. But it's interesting that that's popping up. So what is the cycle? What is the cycle? Oh, that's weird. Well, yeah, let's ask. What is the cycle that's stuck here? Yeah, we're going to ask about this, about how to... We'll ask how to break it, but for some reason it wants to know what the cycle is. Okay. It's weird. I don't know why I asked that again, because we already asked it. All right, so what's the double dragon energy cycle? Ooh, okay. So this one wanted to come towards me first, but it wanted to stay hidden. So execute using ram. I associate this with some sexual energy that's going on, of, you know, ramming into somebody, because execute, it says, even though it appears to be eggs of some sort, it was discovered to be a life form more like plant seed. So I was associating, you know, ramming in seed. And I know, you know, for your soulmate twin flame reading a couple months ago, we got that there was a third party involved. So that could be a situation where you're stuck, where it's you know, ramming. And then we have Floatzel using screw tail. Yeah, so it's a very sexual based sort of situation of someone screwing someone else, whether you are or somebody else is. But there is a third party sexual situation that is stuck in your soulmate twin flame. What does this say? This is also very, like, emotional, you know what I mean? This is the heart chakra and this is the throat chakra, but it's emotions because it's water. Let's see. It says it floats using its well-developed flotation sac. It assists in the rescue of drowning people. So I think it's like, you think that you're going to save somebody, or they think that, you know, yeah, like you think you're going to save someone from either getting out of this cycle, or that you're going to save someone by, you know, engaging in a third party situation or something like that. But that energy is really, really stuck there. All right, now we're going to take a look. How do we break this? How do we break this? I'm hearing like you just have to break it. Yeah. The heart chakra in reverse. The heart has to be broken. It's really weird. I'm sorry to say that. Wow. Yeah, so a heart has to be broken for a third-party situation to end. And honestly, if the other person needs to end the third party, then it might be, you know, you needing to step away and protect your heart chakra from this. And, you know, soulmate twin flames are not the end-all be-all. Sometimes we need to disconnect to learn some lessons so that we can reconnect later. But I'm really feeling some heart chakra stuff. Whoa. And those wanted to come out flying. So yeah, we have psychic type. So yeah, it's about where you see things going into the future. And I was going to say this can also be, you know, a plant sort of addiction. This has been coming out for a couple signs where it was more like marijuana, tobacco, or like, you know, substances that you take, mind altering substances, you know, because now we have Spinda using staggering steps, which I take as, you know, some alcohol or something that really, you know, makes you loosey-goosey in that way. And it says, the chances of two Spinda having identical spot patterns is less than 1 in 4 billion. Yeah, again, so this is a soulmate twin flame energy. And you need to recognize that. It's like, yes, this is a soulmate. This is a twin flame. But, and you know, for Pisces, I did get that twin flame reading. So I would read that or listen to that one, Pisces, because if that's your situation, then yes, this is your twin flame, and you need to know that. Like, you know, finding identical patterns, you know, that soul, that twin flame bond is, you know, 1 in 4 billion. So it's super rare that it even happens, but just because it's a twin flame doesn't mean that you have to be stuck in this cycle. You know, like I said, sometimes the heart needs to be broken and it needs to disconnect for you guys to learn a different lesson. And then we have Ekans, bite in reverse, and then Persian using ambush. So there is bite. It's like, don't bite. You need to go all out and ambush it. So this is like, don't just, you know, this needs to be a complete ambush. Don't just lightly attack is what I'm getting. And so let's see. Ekans says, the older it gets, the longer it grows. At night, it wraps its long body around tree branches to rest. So, you know, the older it gets, the longer it grows. So that's the thing. The longer that you stay in this, the more you're going to be entangled into this cycle. You need to break it, and it needs to be ambushed. You can't just, you know, bite and expect this to change. Like, bite them, like, you don't do this, you have to do this, you know, like using your mouth is not going to work. It's not going to break this cycle. There's a disconnect that really needs to happen here is what I'm getting. Ambush says, its lithe muscles allow it to walk around without making a sound. It attacks in an instant. Yeah, so this is about, like, you know, waiting around and waiting for that time in order to attack, in order to really like cut these things off. And again, even the Ekans says like, oh, at night it wraps its long body around trees to rest. Okay, so it is about waiting for that time to strike, which I associate with a snake like very much. You know, the way that a cat and a snake hunts is very similar, and they both hunt rats. You know what I'm saying? So get your plan together of when you're going to do this ambush and do it, okay? Let's see what your inner child has to say. It needs water, that's for sure. What does Pisces' inner child want to say? Woo, okay. So this one wanted to come out first. The through. You're going to get through this. You're going to get through this. Your inner child says you've been through so much. You're going to get through this one too. You know, you guys really have a lot of heavy karmic lessons, my sweet Pisces, and you're going to get through this for sure. And the return, wow.